This is not a drill. Get to your battle stations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. We might have a seismic shift in what we discuss here in the U.S. men's national team sphere. This is a news item that shook USMNT Twitter, for better or worse, good accounts, bad accounts. They all came together noticing what was happening. In fact, Folarin Balogun was the second trending topic on my Twitter timeline. Any guesses on which number one was? Anyone? Ticketmaster. Not good news there. People are upset about the fees. So Ticketmaster was one and Balogun was number two. We have talked about Folarin Balogun on this show. We are very fond, very smitten on the American-born, born in New York, English-raised, Nigerian family striker who could pick either of those three national teams. It would appear he's leaning towards England. Was not called up to the English national team getting ready for their international window. Then he was with the under-21s. He withdrew due to an injury. And then, like a ray of light, a photo emerged. And there he was in Orlando. But why would he be in Orlando? Is he a big Harry Potter guy? Did he want to go to Universal and dress up and walk around with one of those Quidditch sticks? I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I don't dislike Harry Potter, but I don't know the books. So I apologize if I've insulted anyone. But, you know, when you go to Universal Studios, which I have, and you see everyone dressed up, if Folarin Balogun is a Harry Potter fan, I approve of it, and I would cast any spells and I'd wave a wand, hopefully for him to get it. Maybe he wanted to go see a Backstreet Boys reunion in Orlando. That's where they're from. Maybe he wanted to go fishing in one of the thousands of lakes that you will find in Central Florida. Orlando, by the way, landlocked in Florida, which is completely covered by water. It's an odd place, but my sister lives in Orlando now. I visited her recently. I found it quite charming nowadays. It's not just theme parks, but it's not about Orlando. The reason it's big that he's in Orlando, that's where the U.S. men's national team are right now. And they're going to theme parks, and they're playing golf. And Folarin Balogun, who is now disappointed by not calling for the English national team, out of the under-21s, in Orlando, allegedly, for what reason? We believe he's there to make a connection with the U.S. men's national team and interim coach Anthony Hudson. There's enough ties that bind to tell you that is why he's there. And why wouldn't he be there? Why not kick the tires? Whether you're going to be affiliated with the U.S. or not, you might as well, if you have some free time, see what they have to offer. And if you're there, an encouragement for all the exciting American players, Gio Reyna, Yunus Musa, Matt Turner, who have connections in some way, shape to Folarin Balogun, many others, to massage the relationship. Sell the U.S. men's national team as best as you can because we need him. All due respect to all the forwards that we have, the number nines. We are good everywhere. We're good at goalkeeper. We have an incredible stable of center backs developing. We got good young fullbacks coming up. I'm excited about all of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And more depth in midfield. We have a great trio for starting midfield when they're healthy. World-class wingers. We just missed the number 9. We have a lot of good number 9s, but none of them, we've given them enough time, have taken that step up and said, I'm the guy. And I don't know if any of them are going to, because they continue, I know they're young, but Balogun is young, and he hasn't had these setbacks. You know, Daryl Dike's injured a lot. When he had his big chance, didn't really show it. Josh Sargent, he had a huge goal-scoring drought. Ricardo Pepi had a huge goal-scoring drought. Yeah, he's scoring in the Netherlands, but we got to take that with a grain of salt. I hope one of these guys can step up. Jordan Pefok, when he was going like this, then stopped starting for Union Berlin. Haji Wright. None of these guys are a clear-cut number one where they can stop the conversation. I, for one, want to stop the conversation. I want to stamp a number 9. I have seen enough of Folarin Balogun to know he is that guy, if he wants the job. And why wouldn't he? The U.S. are qualified. The U.S. have their biggest World Cup ever, and you could almost promise him the job. Pretty much. So, before we get into that, here on the Soccer OG, Check out the Soccer OG podcast, where all podcasts are available. We have a new one out there with the great Bradley Wright Phillips. We have a very fun, entertaining conversation. Check out the entire library of podcasts anywhere. Do it now. You'll enjoy it. And right here on YouTube, like and subscribe our videos here and peruse at your leisure on everything we have. We're going to be coming in thick and fast. We're doing 2-3 shows a week. We're very excited because news keeps breaking. So let's talk about the sighting. And people were saying that's not Orlando. That's not March 23rd or whatever, 2023. The U.S. are there. By the way, they go to Grenada. I don't know if I said this already. They go to Grenada to play Nations League game. Then they're back in Orlando to take on El Salvador. So Orlando is home base for now. So these photos emerged, and we didn't know. We couldn't time-lapse it. We just didn't know. But why else would he be there? Now, Orlando's a place where many people go. As I pointed out, if you've ever been to Orlando Airport, all due respect, I mean, if I worked in TSA, I would work anywhere but the Orlando Airport. You have a lot of kids coming home, crying because they didn't get to do all they want to do with the theme parks. You have a lot of parents that look like they want to jump in front of the monorail. I'm kidding. But when you're at Orlando Airport and you see people coming back home from their trips, it's pretty depressing. Anyway, that's not why he was there. We know why he was there, but we needed some detective work. And here comes USMNT Burner, the Twitter account, who did some first-class Dog the Bounty Hunter detective work. And he opened up the photo, and in the back, he sees an image that says, "Here to chase tail." And there's a dog tail. And then he found out what here to chase tail, it is what would you call it? It's a gathering place for dogs, right? It's where you leave your dog to entertain them and they get like pampered. A pup pub, I've been told, is the terminology. Here to chase tail, which is very suggestive, by the way. And I would be worried about leaving my dog there if my dog was a female dog. I don't want her tail chased while I'm away at the theme parks. I'd feel more comfortable if there was no tail chasing. But anyway, did a search, found out that was in Orlando. Connect the dots. USMNT Burner, I salute you. Well done. And I said that on Twitter. I said, excellent work. So he's in Orlando. And some news starting to circle out. This OG might get dated because we might find out that he's there because he's got to talk to them soon because they're going to be going to Grenada. And smartly trying to size up what it's all about. Why shouldn't he? If there was a sports book on where Balogun would end up with, I still think England would be the favorite. But the USA is getting some good money. Nigeria, we don't know. England may be doing some tough love, but they have a lot of other options in attack that they can lean into if it doesn't work with Balogun. That said, Gareth Southgate does not want to jettison a guy of this quality. They don't come around that often. The U.S., now, if the U.S. get a chance, I don't want them to say, hey, you'll come in and you'll be able to compete, and we'd love to see what you can do. No. Give him the job. I know you can't do that. But in this case, you can. Give him the job. So he's just so good. Again, 17 goals in Ligue 1 on loan from Arsenal at Rennes. The leader in Ligue 1 is a guy called Kylian Mbappe. Maybe you've heard of him. Yeah, he's keeping pace with there. Arsenal's keeping tabs of him, seeing if they want to bring him back. They have plenty of other options, but Balogun, I think, could get minutes at Arsenal. Imagine we get Balogun and Austin Trusty on that Arsenal squad. And Arsenal look like they are winning the Premier League more than ever at this point. So we do all the math, and you can get excited. Not called up to England. Good opportunity to cap tie him. That's what the Nations League is for, right? The USA are doing that with Alejandro Zendejas. You cap time at these Nation League games or whatever friendly you might be playing. But these are games that you can cap tie. Then you have Then you have the next group of games. Well, England actually, they probably are limited to being able to cap tight them now, but you want to show your goodwill. And then the under 21s, he comes out, photo in Orlando, and now Balogun apparently going to have some conversations. Add to that Anthony Hudson, the coach, has said that there has been a dialogue, an open dialogue with Balogun. He could have run away from that. He could have said something else, but he says there have been discussions. And now this, you start adding up the data, and it's starting to look pretty promising. At the very least, we can get excited about it. And the U.S., as again, we've pointed this out in past shows, have crushed it under Greg Berhalter and Anthony Hudson with dual nationals. Sergiño Dest, Yunus Musa, Alejandro Sendejas, the last three big, and Ricardo Pepi, you could certainly put in that category as well. These are huge success stories. And now, the biggest one yet. And I would believe in the U.S. being able to pull this off because they've done it beating Mexico in signatures and Netherlands, and they've beaten England before with Yunus Musa. Gareth Southgate has said as much. He wasn't happy about that. Now, there's another interesting subplot developing. A lot of people are falling in love with Anthony Hudson because he is in charge. He put together an incredible squad. I would imagine he's going to get 2 victories here. He has quelled the Gio Reyna situation. You know, that's quickly gone away. He's there. He seems happy. If he gets Balogun to sign, I'm not saying give him the coaching job, but I'm also not saying not to. I mean, Anthony Hudson has no really good quality coaching pedigree, so he's not going to get the job. And nor does he deserve it. And I also will say, I'm seeing people bury Greg Berhalter and saying that he wouldn't have been able to do this. We don't know that because he was part of getting these other dual nationals. But they're burying him saying, Anthony Hudson, he's handling this better. He's handling it well. But this isn't a Hudson Berhalter thing. But if Anthony Hudson pulls this off, he has earned a position of some kind, or maybe we can give him a big wad of money under a table in an unspecified pizza box or something. Because this is going to change the fate. And I said in past videos, I like how Anthony Hudson's handling this. And I like how he's a straight shooter. I didn't know that. I would not have said, I would not have known Anthony from Adam for many weeks ago. But it's been all good with him right now. The selection, the player relationships, the second chances, and now this situation. Now, we're all pumping our brakes. We're not saying it's going to happen. But there's enough there to be very enthused that we are on the right track. Add to that, let me add to that as well, a social media post from Balogun after he did not go with the national team. He did not get on the England national team. A social media post that said, "Go where you are appreciated." We appreciate you here, Folarin. We think you're wonderful. If you're a big Harry Potter guy, I just want to tell you, I love Harry Potter. I love the Backstreet Boys. You're very welcome here. He's got American ties. We've got to kindle the flame there and say, hey, be proud to be American. We got something good going. You are the missing piece. We're going to plop you right in the middle. And you know you want it. Why would you come to Orlando otherwise? Why would you come to Orlando otherwise? Kick the tires. See if you like it. And we can go from there. So a lot in place. We'll be back here on the Soccer OG. We'll talk about the friendlies. I'm sorry, not the friendlies, the Nation League games. And maybe by the end of the week, we'll know a lot more. I would feel that Balogun is not making a decision at all. He is not going to rush into this knowing big bad England is potentially here. And if they make him an offer, and if they're playing possum a little bit to buy some time, then you give them that time. This is England. This is England. This is a powerhouse program, and you're playing with these incredible players, and the profile and the exposure is off the charts. So Balogun should take his time. I don't think he's going to rush it. He's not joining them on this March camp, but maybe, I would think, end of 23, possibly 2024, we could see it. And remember, even Ivan Toney was selected ahead of him, who's a really good striker. But if I was Balogun, I'd say, why don't you pick me? I got a little bit more of a ceiling. I'm younger. Why don't you put me on this national team, Gareth Southgate? I feel like I'm getting into his head. I'm trying to put words into his mouth if we could possibly do that. Soccer OG podcast, where all podcasts are available. If you're in Orlando, don't leave your dog at a place called Here to Chase Tail. Just be forewarned. And Folarin Balogun, welcome here to the United States. Walk around like it's your home. If you see him out there, buy him lunch, buy him a coffee, buy him one of those Quidditch sticks. Be nice to him. The Soccer OG will be back.